Hey, let's make a cookie cutter. I know y'all have been waiting for this project, for those make and take, and so here we go. Your cookie cutter cannot be more than 3 inches by 3 inches. Now you can make it any size within that 3 by 3 cookie cutter dimension. Can't be more than 3 inches, not 3.1, not 3.01, but 3 by 3. So if you look at this sketch, this was that M that I printed. You have a bottom section. This is called the flange. That's actually the top of the cookie cutter that you hang on to. And then the other part is the sides. And this top up here, this part is the chamfered edge that actually cuts the cookie dough. Now, just one thing to think about if you've ever used a cookie cutter. If you have a cookie cutter with really specific and small little details, what happens is you stick the cookie cutter down in the dough gets all caught up in those little crevices. So you don't want to have too many of those teeny tiny little areas, or your dough is going to kind of get stuck all up in there and it's not going to be good. So think about that in your overall design. Now let's look at my sketches. So you want to start with the top, this little cube always turned to the top. Now this looks as if it's kind of built kind of funny and sideways, but to me it made more sense to do it this kind of complicated this way. That's just kind of the way my brain was thinking. The overall width of this is, let's check it and make sure I didn't mess up, 3 inches is the overall length there, and the overall outside length of this is 2.7 inches. That just seemed to look right, so that's why I went with that. Now again, this is the flange at the bottom. The flange is 1/10 of an inch, right there, that is 1/10 of an inch wide. So that's again the part that we're going to hold on to actually make the cookie cutter, the top of it. That's this part down here. Now the second part that we need to look at is the walls, and that's this part right in here. Now if you notice, the walls are super small. They are 3/10 of an inch thick. Now that got a little bit hairy as far as this complicated cookie cutter shape. So if you keep it kind of simple, it'll be a little bit easier for you, but some of you are going to be up for the challenge and want to try it. Alright, with all of that said, let's make your own cookie cutter. So we're going to start a new sketch. You're going to get a standard IPT as we have been doing. We're going to start a 2D sketch. We usually work in the XY plane or the XZ plane. Our cookie cutter is going to be flat. The first one I made, I don't know if y'all saw that, was kind of fell apart. I made it in this one, so it printed it sideways. Not good. Be sure and build it in that XZ plane. Now as that comes up, it's usually turned, so we want to turn that so the top is always up. Now I'm going to do a pretty simple cookie cutter here, just for demonstration's sake. So our dimensions are going to be, I'm going to say 2.8 by 2.3, because I want an overall cookie cutter of 2.5 by 3, and I'll show you how that'll work out here in just a minute. Alright, now with this we're going to use a new tool. We've not used it before, and it's called Offset. It's up there in that Modify section, so you can click Offset, and as you hover over that, you'll see that kind of highlights. So you'll click it, And then, look at that. Isn't that super cool? And you'll pull that to whatever size that you want it. Now, let me caution you, if you go inward, it's going to distort your shape that you have. So I always recommend, even on these simple shapes, to offset outward. So we'll drop that. And again, this needs to be 1/10 of an inch. Alright, let's finish our sketch. So now we're going to extrude it. It's going to be a square. So we're going to extrude it 1/10 of an inch upward. And there is our cookie cutter so far. Alright, now we need to go back in and edit our sketch number 1. So now we have to think about the inside walls. So we want to copy this inside edge because we want to set our new drawing right on top of that inside edge of that flange. So that way you have a solid wall all the way up. There's not a little notch in there that's going to get cookie dough all up in there. So we're going to click copy, and then we're going to select all of the lines that we want to copy. Now my M had a bunch of lines. That was really complicated, but again, some of you guys are definitely up for the challenge. Now I'm going to put that copy onto my clipboard because I'm going to get it back again here in just a minute. So I'm going to put that on clipboard, and I'm going to click done. So now I am going to finish sketch, and then I'm going to start another 2D sketch right on top of that one. Now I want to copy, there we go, and I want to paste what I just put on my clipboard over here to the side. Oh, and it pasted it right there. That's going to be fun. But we can do it. Alright, now we want to take this new part that we just put on here, and we want to put it right on top of that old sketch. Okay, so to do that, we're going to need to move it. Now, in order to move it, we're going to highlight what we want to move. Then we're going to use our base point to go from, we want to put this corner, ooh, let's try that again. I did it backwards. Let's copy, nope, not copy, let's move. And we're going to hold down, drag all the way over to highlight it. Then we're going to base point from here to right there in that corner. Now I just laid that right on the inside of that. Cool. Now we need to offset that. See how there's going to be our walls. Moving that around and making that a little bit bigger. Let's dimension that to, we said 3.03, 3/100ths of an inch. Okay. That moved the wrong one. Let's try that again. Dimension from here to here. Undo that. There we go. Let's try that dimension again. I don't want it to move off that bottom line, 0.03. There we go. You notice that last time this line moved outward, and I needed this top line to move inward. So I just had to dimension it at another angle. Alright, now we need to finish sketch, and we need to extrude this outside area in what's already 1/10 of an inch tall. So let's do it an inch tall. So we're going to say 0.9. We want it to go up, and we want to touch just in between that teeny tiny little edge right there. Whoop, whoop, not that. 0.9, not that. Right there. Okay, now let's turn it and make it a little bit smaller. Here we go. See how to get it really, kind of get it close. Look, isn't it cute? Alright, now what we need to do, we're not finished. Let's go to top and flip him around. Let's turn him up just a little bit. Now we need to chamfer these edges. So we're going to come over here to, where's my chamfer? Oh, there, not fillet. There it is, chamfer. And I think that's pretty thin, so I think I chamfered that 0.02, and then you click that inside edge of all of your cookie cutter and apply, and there you go. Now you'll save it in your home directory, and I'll show you. You'll have to kind of grab it out, save it as something else, and then ship it to the printer, and I'll show you how to do that next in another video. Have a great day, guys.